Stand. Work that. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Isaiah BucosLocker coming to you again. Subscribe, like, comment, share on all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining another episode of Locker Room Talk. What's up? I haven't heard from y'all in a couple weeks. Y'all haven't seen me. I've been chilling, enjoying my off season. I told y'all how this works. May, June time frame, taking breaks, taking long breaks. I drop a video here and there. I decided to drop a video today. I just got done with just leaving a festival. The Bayou Boogaloo, watching Juvenile perform. Those of you that don't know who Juvenile is, it's a 90s rapper, right? I watched him perform live just now in New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? And I got a crick in my neck. It's a beautiful day outside, partly cloudy. But like I told y'all, I'm May and June. I'm not doing a lot of videos now. July, I'll pick up. July. I'll pick back up in July. But I'll drop videos here and there between May and June. But July, I'll be back on track. Shout out to Devin Haney. Devin the Dream Haney, for defeating Lomachenko, the hype job, by top rank in a unanimous decision, and still undefeated, and still the undisputed lightweight champion, Devin the Dream Haney. Yes, indeed. So I know all you Lomachenko fans and you Ryan Garcia fans are mad. Get out your feelings, because a lot of you picked Ryan Garcia to beat Tank Davis. I got receipts. A lot of you also picked Lomachenko. The same people that picked Ryan Garcia to beat Tank is the same people that picked Lomachenko to beat Devin Haney. And those are going to be the same people that's going to pick Inoue to beat Stephen Fulton. See how this works? See, I've never seen, well, only in boxing, and I want to talk about boxing real quick. Only in boxing in America. Only in boxing in America, where a foreigner can have a fight over here against an American fighter, and the American fighter feels like he's in another country. Why does America do their fighters like that? Every other race, every other country support their fighters. The Mexicans support their fighters. The Puerto Ricans support their fighters. The Cubans support their fighters. No matter if they go win or lose, no matter what. Russian, Eastern Europeans, UK fighters, Asian fighters, they all support their fighters. But here in America, this is the only country that go against their own fighters. Devin Haney, it felt like he was not in America. If you listen to the commentary, listen to the crowd. That fight should have been in Ukraine. Devin is born and raised in Oakland, California, and that fight felt like he was overseas in certain things. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early? But in boxing, ain't no patriotism in boxing. I'm not going to go into details, but you know where I'm going with this. Especially when it comes to a particular fighter, specifically an American fighter. Patriotism goes out the window. Y'all don't find that strange as an American? That fight was in Vegas, and it was a pro-Lomachenko crowd. Even the commentators, everything Lomachenko did, it was all hyped up. A fighter from Ukraine, it sounded like he was the home guy. It sounded like Devin, it sounded like, in the way it was portrayed, that Devin Haney's the outsider. And he's from America. As the rockets bursting, none of them know nothing about Lomachenko. They can care less about the Ukraine. But for boxing, patriotism goes out the window. They can care less about patriotism. They can care less about supporting their countrymen, win or lose. Because the other countries support their fighters. Can anybody explain to me, why does Americans do their fighters like this? They cheer for Triple G. They cheer for Sergey Kovalev. They cheer for Pacquiao against Mayweather. Jeff Horn against Crawford. What is going on here? Brandon Figueroa against Stephen Fulton. Ryan Garcia, who's from here, but they picked him to beat Tank. Y'all saw what Shakur Stevenson did. That was out of line. That wasn't. I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he jumped in the ring. That was weird. And then what's so crazy is we are the only country where our fellow countrymen go against the grain against our fighters. Why is that? See, it's all fun and games until you American fighters that go against the grain, picking other countrymen to beat your guy that's born and raised in America, you're capping. It's all fun and games until Jermell Charlo, Shakur Stevenson, Terrence Crawford, Keyshawn Davis, until you fighting somebody from overseas and they going against you and they cheering for that guy instead of you. It's all fun and games, you American fighters that keep going against American fighters, especially elite American fighters. Always picking overseas guys to win the fight. It's all fun and games until you, Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn Davis, Jermell Charlo, when you fight somebody from overseas and you feel like the outsider. Because that's what Devin Haney felt like. He had to go on the road, despite the fact that he's from America, he had to go on the road, a pro-Lomachenko crowd, the media pro-Lomo, and win a fight in a country that he was born and raised in. Did you hear the commentators? Timothy Bradley, Andre Ward went through the same thing when he fought Sergey Kovalev twice. Both times they went against Andre Ward. They felt like Sergey Kovalev got robbed in the first fight. They said he wanted to fight, Ward didn't. Even in the second fight, Ward was dirty. Kovalev got cheated. When Timothy Bradley beat Manny Pacquiao, they say Manny Pacquiao got robbed. These are the same fighters that's commentating boxing. You fought a guy overseas, and they was going for that guy, and you beat him in your country. And they got on you and said you lost the fight. Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley, two American fighters that fought men from overseas, and you beat them. And the media and the fan base said you lost. And then fast forward years later, you just watched a young American fighter beat a Ukrainian by unanimous decision, and look at the results of the American public. So my take on that, Haney wanted the fight clearly. I scored the fight 8 rounds to 4. It was an easy fight to score. But I'm so sick of Americans, win or lose, why don't you Why don't you support American fighters? Why don't Americans support American fighters? Win or lose, Mexicans gonna always pick Mexicans. For the most part, like 99% of the time. When Earl Spence fought Mikey Garcia, go look at the predictions. Every time they asked a Mexican fighter, a former fighter or current fighter or trainer, they kept picking Mikey Garcia. Win or lose, they gonna stick with their guy. They're gonna stick with the fellow countryman. Earl Spence easily defeated Mikey Garcia. What is going on in America? Why don't you like American fighters? Representing your country. And you keep picking and going against the grain. You ex-fighters, you current fighters, you trainers, you American public boxing fans, you casual fans, I don't get it. Go look at the predictions for Miguel Cotto, Canelo Alvarez, Mikey Garcia, all these Mexican boxers. Anytime they fight somebody, you think the Mexicans going against their guy? Brandon Figueroa, when he fought Stephen Fulton, all the Mexicans picked Brandon Figueroa. Exactly. Mayweather cooked Canelo Alvarez. But even before the fight, the Mexicans was going for Canelo Alvarez. When Mayweather fought Pacquiao, the American public was going for Manny Pacquiao. When he fought Madonna, they was going for Madonna. Americans! Patriotism means nothing in boxing. They always cap it. They cap for Triple G. Hype them up. He can't even sell at a backyard. Hyped up Lomachenko. Lomachenko can't sell tickets in America. But I just can't. It's forget the boxing part of it. Just from an American patriotism standpoint, Americans don't stick with their fighters. But every other country do it. Win or lose. Even if they fight or lose the match, they still with their countrymen. But the minute you pick an American fighter against an overseas fighter that was hyped up by the machine, you're the outlier. I don't know nothing about boxing. Oh, you dumb. You casual. What? But don't worry, you Lomachenko fans, and you Ryan Garcia fans, and you Brandon Figueroa fans. Keep picking against American fighters. I'm not going to go into particulars in the particular style I'm talking about. But every time a style like Devin Haney fights a overseas hyped up guy and wins, it's always a robbery. Never get a fair shake in the media after fights like this. It's almost like an American fighter got to knock out a overseas hype job to get any respect. I'm sorry, folks. I had to go on my boxing rant because Americans just, sometimes they make me sick. Exactly. Shakur Stevenson, how about you fight Lomachenko next? Since you thought he won, you go fight him. And so you can see how I feel when the commentators and the crowd and the media go for Lomachenko and you feel like the outsider. So sick of some of these Americans be killing me. What is going on here? Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early? But when it comes to American fighters and this patriotism, it goes out the window. No patriotism for American fighters. In particular, when they fight a hype job overseas. A UK fighter, an Eastern European, Russian, Ukrainian, Pakistanian, Go. Matter of fact, when it's an American fighter versus a Mexican fighter, Americans going against the grain. No faith in American fighters. And then you got fighters that's here in America going against the grain, picking against an American. It's all fun and games until you get in a fight with a guy from overseas that you know nothing about, and they're going for him, and you got to deal with that. But anyway, so let me talk about some football. I just wanted to go on my boxing rant because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's why this patriotism crap is bull crap. It's bull crap. It's BS. In boxing, it is BS. Why did they do the national anthem in boxing? It's pointless. But anyway, so let's talk about the Bucs for a second. So what's going on with the Bucs situation? What's going on with the Bucs? A lot of chatter around the Bucs fan base about Rachaad White, and some of the media was talking about Rachaad White having a breakout season, and the Bucs can win the South, and going to surprise a lot of people. Then there's some takes about the Bucs going to be terrible and all this. Look, it's all. I get the speculation. I get you got to put something out there. It's a dry season. Whether they rooting for the Bucs to do good or the Bucs do bad, it's something to talk about. And this is what I was trying to tell y'all. And some of y'all kind of got upset when I was talking about the Bucs. When I made my schedule prediction, my pre-training camp after the draft schedule prediction. Looking at the schedule, some of you got like I said 9-8. Some of you was cool with that, but that's not my final prediction. Oh yeah, boxing is one of the most historical sports in America. It's been around for a long time, and it's been going on for years. Jack Johnson got the same hate. Armstrong got the same hate. Like Henry Armstrong, he got the same hate. Americans don't like American fighters for whatever reason, specifically a Pacific type of fighter. So, but I'm not gonna go I'm not gonna go that deep. I just want to keep it surface level because this ain't the channel for that. It's just sickening how Americans do their own countrymen in boxing. Win or lose, it's ridiculous. They don't support American fighters. But yeah, so there's some talk about Rachaad White, and there's been some rankings. I told y'all. Oh, I'm there with it. I told y'all before the season start, before training camp start, I told y'all people are going to put out rankings about the quarterbacks, the receiving duos, the cornerback duos. I seen one with the cornerback duos. No Jamel Dean, no Carlton Davis in the top, I think it was top 5 cornerback duos or top 10, something like that. And there was no talk about Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis being in the top nothing. I've seen some rankings about under 25 players that's really good. Don't hear nothing about the Bucs under 25 players being really good on any list. So all these rankings coming out about teams. All these tier rankings coming out about teams. And I warned y'all about this. But see, when I did it, it was, I'm not being optimistic, I'm being nepotism. Oh, I'm being negative, Debbie Downer. No, man. I'm just saying. You gotta give something to talk about. You gotta rank this. I'm not saying you have to do it, but you have to give something. You can't just sit here and try to play outside the fence. But you want to talk about football, but you want to stay away from a particular area. When it's time to rank your favorite team, it's, I ain't got nothing to say. When it's time to rank our players against other players, or our team against other teams, or our OC, or our quarterback situation, it's, I ain't got nothing to say about that. We don't know. I get that part. But for football conversation, as of right now, where do you put the Bucs at? I said I had the Bucs at 9-8 after the draft. My real prediction after training camp and preseason, you don't know what my record prediction gonna be. But I will tell you this much. I will be honest with you. I don't see this team winning more than 9 games. I really don't. Because of the OC and quarterback situation. And that's not being negative. That's just being straight up honest from a football perspective. So when you see all these rankings about cornerbacks, and there was an argument about who was the best tackle. It was Andrew Thomas and Tristian Wrifs. People was like, Tristian Wrifs. I'm rocking with Tristian Wrifs, but they play 2 different positions. One play right tackle, one play left tackle. Now Tristian Wrifs supposedly is supposed to be playing left tackle this season. We don't know yet. But if you say who's the best left tackle, and I don't care what PFF says, there's an argument there. See, PFF had Andrew Thomas number 1. See, I don't go by PFF rules. There's a couple guys that you can make an argument for. Now, you can't throw Tristian Wrifs in the argument because he don't play left tackle. We don't have any tape on him in the NFL at left tackle. So you can't say he's a better left tackle than Andrew Thomas. Andrew Thomas is good. As a matter of fact, he was the first one picked. Remember the big 4? Andrew Thomas, Mekhi Becton, Jedarick Willis, and Tristian Wrifs. It took Andrew Thomas a couple years to figure it out, but he did. He's playing very well at a high level. But we don't know what type of left tackle Tristian Wrifs is going to be. Now, if we had tape on Tristian Wrifs, that's a different conversation. We can have some factual, good dialogue. But when you have evidence on something, you can talk about it. Now, Tristian Wrifs is one of the best right tackles in the game. Him and Lane Johnson, you can argue who's number 1. You can say Lane Johnson and then say Tristian Wrifs. Lane Johnson hasn't allowed a sack, 3 years now? So most people are going to say Lane Johnson is the best right tackle. And then they're going to say Tristian Wrifs is right there. Then some of us are going to say Tristian Wrifs is number 1. Because we have evidence. But to say Tristian Wrifs is going to be the best left tackle, better than multiple guys, better than Ronnie Staley, Andrew Thomas, or Trent Williams, we don't have any evidence on that. And David Bakhtiari, we don't have any evidence on Tristian Wrifs being a top left tackle. We don't have any evidence at all. So how can you rank Tristian Wrifs at left tackle when you don't have any evidence? Now, this is from a position standpoint. Now, when you go higher than the position, when you go to the team, you can rank the Bucs team before the season starts. So I'm trying to tell y'all, you can actually rank the Bucs team. You have an idea where they rank at right now, post-draft rankings. You have an idea where the Bucs quarterback situation resides at post-draft. It ain't top 20, folks. You can convince yourself all day that the Bucs quarterback situation is above 20. You're lying to yourself, and you know you are. That's just you being biased, and I'm okay with that. But from a football perspective, huge question marks on Kyle Trask. Huge question marks on Baker Mayfield. And huge question marks on Dave Canales. And you can't give a pre-ranking on that. So that means you're going to rank them well above where they should be at. So those of you that is too scared to rank our quarterback situation where it resides at currently, or the ones that's too scared to rank our OC situation, that means you're going to rank them a lot higher than where they should be at, and you don't want to get no backlash. See, I ain't scared to speak on my team because I told y'all, transitional year. Quarterback situation, transitional. Because if Kyle Trask was a guy, regardless, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Kyle Trask would be the starter. There wouldn't be no quarterback competition. They brought in Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, to sell tickets. And then look at the receiver situation. Our receiving core is still going to be good, especially Evans and Godwin, right? They're gonna do what they got to do, but they're going to be affected by the quarterback play. That's how it works. So unless the running game becomes top-notch, we don't have any evidence on that. You can't even rank the Bucs running game. No, I'm sorry. We do have evidence on the Bucs running game. You can't even rank the Bucs running game average because we haven't seen an average running game in years. So, as I'm pulling back layers, when they speak on Rachaad White having a breakout year, it's like, okay, I get it. I hope he has a breakout year. But are you basing it on what Rachaad did in a part-time role? Because it would be different, because we do have evidence to talk about it. I wish it was more like a Tony Pollard situation. Well, actually, it's kind of like a Tony Pollard situation. I'm not saying that Rachaad White and Tony Pollard are very similar players. They're two different players. But I'm just saying Rachaad White was the better player, and for whatever reason, they kept running Fournette out there. So we have some evidence on Rachaad White, and I see him being a good running back. But the problem I have is the O-line situation. O-line, they're not going to respect our quarterback situation. Every team we play, especially a team with an average defense or a top-level defense, is not going to respect our quarterback situation. They're not going to respect Luke Gedeke. They're going to test out Cody Mulch. They're going to test out the left guard as well. This is all I was trying to explain to y'all. Please prepare yourselves. As I wrap this video up, please prepare yourself for a transitional year. Not saying it's going to be terrible. I'm just saying your expectations better be, or I say better, your expectations should be humble. Because we celebrated for the last couple years, up until 2022, 8 and 9, and that was with the great Tom Brady. So now we have question marks, even more question marks about this team than, because if Tom Brady was on the team, I don't think we have a lot of questions as far as the expectations. But see, now, no Tom Brady, you mean to tell me your expectations is we're going to win more than 9 games? Based on what? And I told y'all, a defensive-led team. This is what the Bucs are. They're going to run the ball. Hopefully they run the ball effectively. I think that will be the biggest key for the Bucs offensively. Because I believe, in my opinion, because of the quarterback situation, I think it's going to be shaky, baby. It's going to be shaky. I just don't see, I don't see Baker Mayfield putting up huge numbers. Even if he's a starter. Let's just say he's a starter. I don't see him putting up huge numbers. He's never done that type of style. He's never put up huge numbers like that. He don't score a lot of points. He don't score points like Tom Brady. Up until, you know what, not 2022 Tom Brady. I'm talking about 2021 Tom Brady, 2020 Tom Brady. We can just keep it at the Bucs perspective. He don't score points like Jameis Winston, and he don't score points like Tom Brady. He don't put up yards and points like Winston and Tom Brady. So that's a drop-off. From a production offensively, from an offensively scoring points and production standpoint, it's going to be a drop-off. Because Baker Mayfield is not that type of quarterback. He don't put up a lot of points. He needs to have a strong running game. A strong O-line and a strong running game to be effective. Because when you put the ball in Baker Mayfield's hands, you're asking for trouble. Matter of fact, can anybody give me Baker Mayfield's best season? What is Baker Mayfield's best season? What's his numbers? What's Baker Mayfield's best season? Look at his numbers. And this is what his best season was with the Cleveland Browns. When they had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, OBJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Jarvis Landry, and 3, possibly 4 Pro Bowls on the O-line. David Njoku and Harrison Bryant. That is a stacked offense. And he didn't put up big numbers. So, if he couldn't put up big numbers with a top running game, how is he going to put up big numbers in a running game with question marks? And it's no shade to Rachaad White. I think he's going to be fine. But Baker Mayfield, is he going to put up big numbers in his offense in the first year? And then Kyle Trask, I think we can kind of say, in just from a football perspective, when have you seen a quarterback like Kyle Trask situation put up big numbers his first year as a starter? Not even the great Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen. Those quarterbacks didn't put up big numbers in their first year as a starter. So we're banking on Kyle Trask. If he's a starter, he's going to put up big numbers? No. Neither one of them putting up big numbers. Especially Kyle Trask. Name your quarterback as a first-year starter that's going to put up big numbers. Trevor Lawrence didn't put up big. Exactly. Trevor Lawrence didn't put up big numbers. He struggled. All these quarterbacks, these talented quarterbacks struggle. So you mean to tell me Kyle Trask is an exception to the rule? If he's a starter, he's going to put up big numbers. You'll be lucky if Kyle Trask get 3,500 yards or 3,700 yards in his first year as a starter, if he starts for 17 games. And if Baker Mayfield is a starter, and we don't have a good season, he's not going to last 17 games if he's struggling. But if he plays 17 games as a starter, you really think Baker Mayfield is going to put up 4,700 yards and 30-plus touchdowns? Less than 15 picks or 10, 12 picks? He has no history on that. Where is the history on Baker Mayfield being efficient or putting up big numbers, scoring a lot of points as the starting quarterback? You see, bingo. His Baker Mayfield best season in 2016, 317 for 350, 334, 3,800 yards, 3,827 yards. Thank you, King Cook. 22 touchdowns, 21 interceptions. That's his best season. I'm just facts over. Thank you, King Cook. Facts over feelings. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to warn y'all. I'm not trying to be negative. I am giving y'all the reality of the situation and our quarterback situation. So I hope Rachaad White and Sean Tucker and Chase Edmonds and maybe even Keyshawn Vaughn and that O-line be able to run the ball effectively. Because if they can't run the ball, and they have not shown that for the last several years, and you mean to tell me all of a sudden in 2023 we're going to go from 32 to 12 or 10? The quarterback will play a big role in the Bucs record and the defense, but you got to score points. And Baker Mayfield is not a points maker. He's not a points scoring quarterback. He leads the NFL in interceptions since 2017. He didn't like Winston doing it. Baker Mayfield, since 2017, #1 in interceptions. So if you didn't like Winston, why is all of a sudden the hype for Baker Mayfield? Can anybody explain that part? Why all the hype for Baker Mayfield when he leads the league in interceptions since 2017? He turns the ball over. Matter of fact, with Carolina, he had 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. But all of a sudden, he goes to the Bucs in a first-year offense as a first-year OC, and he's going to be all of a sudden this quarterback monster. Don't bet on that. So, for me to give you a hypothetical for Baker Mayfield, he don't have enough facts for me to give him hypotheticals. Now, if he had a history of then I can kind of gauge what Baker Mayfield can do, but Baker Mayfield don't have the evidence for me to even give him hypotheticals on having an elite season because he's never had that. But Baker Mayfield went to the playoffs. He was a starting quarterback. Did you not see the running game they had? The defense they had? The O-line did you just gonna disregard that? Baker Mayfield was the part of the reason why they went to the playoffs. He was not the reason. The quarterback is supposed to be the reason. Because he's the leader of the team. He's the head of the state. See, Baker Mayfield is a jag at this point. He's a jag. He's a guy that can help the team win, but he will not be the reason why the team is winning. He'll have some moments, he'll have some games that he's going crazy and all that, but he's too inconsistent, and he don't have a steady history of scoring a lot of points as a starting quarterback. Once again, leads the NFL in interceptions since 2017. He's #1. Don't get mad at me. And he's playing for the Bucs. So if you didn't like Jameis Winston, you damn sure ain't gonna like Baker Mayfield. The only difference between those two, Winston put up a lot of points and a lot of yards. Baker Mayfield don't do that. So if you're expecting the Bucs to all of a sudden become this beast scoring team with Baker Mayfield, if he's a starter, your chances, you're putting yourself out there for disappointment. And if Kyle Trask is a starter, he has no recollection, no evidence of him being a big-time scoring quarterback and a points, yards putting a quarterback. And like I told y'all, first-year quarterbacks don't put up a lot of points and yards. So in Kyle Trask's situation, he's a first-year starter if he becomes a starter. Well, good luck with that. We're going to have to lead on the defense, and we're going to lead on the running game for a lot of the season, for at least for like 10 to 12 weeks. If the Bucs defense can just keep us around the 500 level, like at week 12, because he got small hands. That's why he fumbles a lot. That's why in the pocket he fumbles a lot. He got small hands. He's little. He turns the ball over quite a bit, like Winston. The difference is, like I'm gonna keep saying it, and these are facts. You can look it up yourself. The difference is Winston put up yards. Brady put up yards and points, both of them. And with Byron Leftwich running the show, Baker Mayfield doesn't do that. Look, I can deal with. Look, in today's NFL, you better score points. You better take some risk. You can't. It's hard to win games when you're conservative. This is why the Bucs went 8-9 last year. Brady was too conservative. Even though he had a lot of yards, well, he threw 4,600 yards, but he had a lot of attempts because he was so conservative. You're throwing the ball 52 times a game, but 30 of those throws is like under 5 yards. Checking the ball down. In today's football, it's like basketball. Shoot the three. You better have some shooters. You better have off the ball movement. You can't be ISO pick and roll type offense. That ain't gonna work no more in the NBA. You better have threes, you better have motions, you better have backdoors, you better have dribble handoffs. You better be diverse in your offense. You cannot be one-dimensional. And I'm gonna say this sidetrack. This is why the Denver Nuggets is going to easily beat the Lakers. The Denver Nuggets can beat you in multiple ways. You can't just think that, like, the Lakers got one way to win. Overpower you with length. They can't shoot. The Nuggets can shoot. The Nuggets can play inside. They can dribble drive. They can do backdoor screens. They can do curl screens. They can do three-man motion. They can do triangle offense. They can do the Spurs motion offense. They can do the Warriors off-ball movement. The Lakers can't do that. So with the Bucs, in today's NFL, they're not dynamic at this point. Do they have dynamic players on offense? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, we get that. But they're not like super explosive guys. You get what I'm saying? Great players, but they're not dynamic. So we just came off a season scoring 18 points a game. Now we got a worse quarterback situation. You tell me. So the Bucs gonna have to rely on the defense and the running game to win games. We know what the defense is gonna bring. That's why I'm confident in the defense. But I don't know about the offense because of the quarterback situation. If we had more stability there, I would have more confidence. But we went out and got Baker Mayfield, a terrible mistake, in my opinion. I would rather see Kyle Trask win this job. You should too. Because Tom Brady put up 18 points a game. And you mean to tell me Baker Mayfield's going to do better than that? Because he can move around more? Or Kyle Trask is going to do better than that because what? You tell me, Bucs fans. I'm going to say this one more time. Transitional season. You got to be modernized football. And the Bucs right now are not a modernized, offensively driven team. Tight end, question mark. Quarterback, question mark. Running back, question mark. O-line, outside of Tristian Wirfs and Ryan Jensen, question mark. Running game question. If you had to group the Bucs offensively as a position group and break it down, I mean, quarterback, bottom 10. Running game, bottom 10. Going into the season, quarterback, bottom 10. Running game, bottom 10. O-line, bottom half of the teams. Like, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-ish, Receivers. You would say the Bucs receivers are top 10? Right? The Bucs offensively, the only group that is considered really good is the receivers because of Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And then, okay, if you throw Russell Gage in there, but the receiving group is the only group on the Bucs on the offensive side that is worth a damn. I mean, let me try this again. Quarterback situation, bottom 10. Running game, bottom 10. Tight end situation, bottom 10. Going into the season. O-line, middle of the pack, at best. Receivers, what, top 12? Top 12 receiving group? OC, bottom 10. You get what I'm saying? I'm not being negative. These are like hardcore, because we went down the list already. It's hard to put the Bucs offensively skill positions in front of a lot of teams because those teams look more dynamic. And like I said, the Bucs transition here, a couple of positions they didn't really go hard at. Left tackle, running back. They didn't really go at the left tackle and running back situation really hard. I mean, they drafted Sean Tucker, but they undrafted free agent, and then they rolled him with Rashad White and they signed Chase Edmonds. So Chase Edmonds ain't been no dog like that, and we already know what Keyshawn Devon is, a special teams guy. So we banking on Rashad White to be that dude. I hope he is that dude, because I sure ain't banking on Chase Edmonds and Keyshawn Vaughn. Hopefully Sean Tucker can become the undrafted beast mode, right? Hopefully his heart holds up, right? But I'm telling you, the receivers and tight ends are going to get hurt, like, as far as, like, production-wise. Production-wise, the receiving core and tight end core is going to be a drop-off. Because the offense is going to have some growing pains. Trying to learn Dave Canales' terminology and how he wants things, the checks, the audibles. And when you got two quarterbacks, you don't have one. What team has two quarterbacks talking about where they both plan to be the starter? That means you don't have a starter. You can't go into the season like this at quarterback. You can't. You got to have a surefire starter. You can't go into the season where we don't know what the O-line going to look like. That's the problem with the Bucs. They're going into the season, question marks, who's going to be the starter at quarterback. And they're going into the season, question marks on the O-line. Is Luke Gedeke playing right tackle? Is going to be Cody Mulch? Who's playing left tackle? Too many question marks. And meanwhile, the teams that are worth a damn, that's going to produce, they know exactly who's the starting quarterback. They know exactly who's the starting O-lineman. All five. And meanwhile, the Bucs are twiddling their thumbs about the O-line and quarterback situation. But all the teams that matter at this point, they know who the quarterback is, and they know who is starting on the O-line. And I'm supposed to expect the Bucs to win more than 9 games, and we can't even get that part straight. And I'm talking about the separation between teams that matter and the Bucs. It's a large gap. You'll see. We play the Bills, the Eagles. You'll see. Oh my goodness, not even close. And I feel sorry for the defense. I do. And the Bucs defense, don't get it twisted. They're going to be good, but there's going to be some games that they just can't. The offense just ain't enough. And it sucks because the Bucs defense is actually good. But that offense is going to make them tired. So don't get mad at the Bucs defense when we can't hold opponents under 21 points. Because the Bucs defense is going to be out there quite a bit, especially early in the season, as they learn Dave Canales' offense. Do not get mad at Todd Bowles' defense because of the Bucs offense. 3 and out. Because if we went 3 and out with Tom Brady, a lot. Oh, we definitely gonna go 3 and out with Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask. A lot. You think we had red zone problems with Tom Brady? The great Tom Brady? With all that knowledge? Oh, we gonna have some red zone problems with Kyle Trask and Baker Mayfield. What? Once again, folks, I'm gonna say this one more time. Transitional year. Your expectations should be modest. Because if your expectations are extremely high, I've seen some of you 10 wins, 11, 12. You're going to set yourself up for it. And I don't want to hear it. Don't come over here talking about, oh man, what's going on? No. You said the Bucs going to win 10, 11, 12 games. You said that. Just like we all said it last year. I had the Bucs win 11 and 12 games. And what happened? 8 and 9. But yet, no Tom Brady. We finna win more games. What? What are we doing here? Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Oh, before I get off the channel, the Bucs are in a lawsuit about a slogan, the crew, with the Saints. The Bucs are suing the Saints because they are taking a word or a slogan or the crew, K-R-E-W-E. Is that true? What I read about that situation, what's going on with that? They're arguing over a word? The Bucs and the Saints are at battle over the word crew? Who used it first? I mean, don't we got other things that we could be worried about as an organization, as a fan base? We're worrying about the word crew? I mean, come on. What are we doing, Tampa? Is it that big of a deal? Is it monetary? That's what it is? It's about money? Because who told the Bucs organization to go to war over a name? And it's not even a slogan that is being used a lot. You know, like when we got to keep this to it's ours. This is close to us. Who runs around with that slogan all day long? Because I know, see, here in New Orleans, now I will say this. Now, I've been here for about 8 years now. They use the word crew quite a bit. K-R-E-W-E. Because here in New Orleans have local social clubs. And they don't use C-R-E-W. They use, even Mardi Gras. And Mardi Gras been around for a long time. They use K-R-E-W-E. So I don't know how long the Bucs been using that word or that slow, whatever the case may be. But I do know for a fact that New Orleans do not use the typical word crew. C-R-E-W. They don't use that here when they describing a crew. Now I'm from Tampa. I ain't never heard us use that. And I grew up in Tampa, born and raised. I used to work at the stadium. I don't remember the Bucs running around talking about the crew. I worked at the old sombrero. I didn't see the word crew hanging up all over the old sombrero. I'm just saying. I think we got other things we could be worried about over a freaking word. Get it together. Once again, folks, transitional year. They worry about the wrong things. And Devin White, last but not least, what is the deal with you, man? You got people writing letters to Devin White about what's going on. OTAs, voluntary, like you just not even showing up. That's what we're doing. Are you going to show up, man? Or are you going to keep pouting for a contract? Because you're not making it better as far as getting a contract. Devin White, get it together, man. You need to come on this show, bro. We need to talk. How about that? Oh my goodness. Devin White need to come on this show. We can have a conversation, a legit conversation. I know some of you Bucs players and personnel and members. I know y'all be checking my channel out here and there. I know some of y'all be coming in. I know y'all heard of me. I know some of you Bucs media and players and front office and staff members. I know you heard of BucosLocker. I am him. I am him. One of these days, I'm going to get y'all on here. One of you. We're going to have a conversation. Don't get scared. It's just a locker room. Oh, and Yaya Dobby. Did y'all see the photos of Yaya Dobby? Have you seen the photos of Yaya Dobby? Is it me? Or he's huge? Like, bim, 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 bim. That dude is big. Just saying. He's been in the gym. He's been in the gym. And I'm just saying, Joe Tryon, Shaq Barrett, you are on the clock. Because if Yaya Dobby, if he's that dude, and he start producing early, Joe Tryon and Shaq Barrett time will get cut. Because it's going to be hard to keep that dude off the field. And I know everybody talking about Elijah Clancy. He's going to be a beast and all that. I hope so. But do not be surprised. Yaya Dobby is the best draft pick in this class. Do not be surprised. You heard it here. I'm not saying you heard it here first, but you heard it on this channel. Do not be surprised if Yaya Dobby is the best player in this draft class. And I hope Elijah Clancy turns out good. But I'm just saying, go look at Yaya tapes in Louisville. And that translates pretty well as far as his ceiling to the NFL. He just got to get tightened up in some technique and some skills. But if his arrow continues to go up, and I know photos don't mean nothing. It's all about the field. You can get off the bus and be all jacked up and beefed up. And you got to produce on the field. But at least getting off the bus, we should have him at the front. Just saying. I'm just saying. Yaya Dobby should be the one getting off the bus first. When the Bucs are on the road and they get off the bus at the hotel, Yaya Dobby needs to be the first one off the bus. Off the bus. First one off the bus. Facts. Because that dude looks like a football player. And then if you look at the Louisville tape, he ain't no slouch. And I'm just saying, Joe Tryon, and I told y'all this when he got drafted. He was in my mock draft, by the way. So I'm excited about Yaya Dobby, Sean Tucker, you know, and Payne Durham too, because I picked those guys to be on the Bucs team on my mock draft. So I'm gonna be watching them pretty close. But Yaya Dobby, I'm pulling for you, buddy. I would like to get you on this channel. I think you got great things ahead of you. Keep your head on straight. I think you're going to be a good player. I believe you're going to be a good player for the Bucs. And I picked Raheem Jarrett too. I did too. So I'm going to be watching all the guys I picked in my mock draft. I will be watching closely. But yeah, so I got great expectations for Yaya Dobby. I just hope they take care of him. Warren Sapp, you know, I hope they take care of him, show him some things, because, man, I mean, Joe Tryon, if he is anything like you in his rookie season, as far as production wise, you're in trouble, buddy. And you don't take the next step, and Yaya Dobby getting in that part time, because he's gonna get some playing time. Let's make that clear. Yaya Dobby's gonna get some playing time, and I know Elijah Clancy's gonna get some playing time. We know that. You know, he's going to be a starter, right? But Yaya Dobby, he's going to get some playing time. Elijah Clancy, I know we haven't talked about this, but we will. And this will be another conversation as I wrap this video up. I keep saying that, but I will. We're going to talk about Elijah Clancy. Should he be a starter right away? That will be my next video, or video coming up. And we're gonna dive into details about should Kalijah Clancy be a starter right away, or should we just ease him on in and play Greg Gaines and, you know, Vita, you know, Tristian? You know, should we play those guys a little bit more until he gets acclimated, or do we throw Clancy out right out there? And we'll get into details about that. And so stay tuned for that video. And also, I am going to do a video about what games I would like to go to. Oh yeah, I don't like he got the number 0. Come on, Yaya, man. Why you pick the number 0? What you doing? What you doing, y'all? What's up with this? Anyway, I am going to make a video about what games do I want to attend. And one of the games I would like to attend, or 2 of them, is the Minnesota game, the first game of the season in Minnesota, Twin Cities, in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities. I'm gonna stop saying Minnesota because some of y'all think I'm using it as a city, but Minneapolis, Minnesota, and, you know, St. Paul, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Twin Cities. Beautiful city, beautiful city. And I want to purify myself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. And I also want to go to the Buffalo game. I want to go to Buffalo. Never been up that far up there. Well, I've been farther there, but I'm just saying. I want to go to the Buffalo game and the Vikings game. Away games. To me, the away games, and I'll make a video on that. The away games seem more exciting than the home games this season. The home games seem like they just don't have enough zip to them. All the good games, as far as the Bucs opponents, on the road. Just saying. I know I think Jack's coming up, but yeah. Oh, I need to get a rookie jersey too. Who I'm gonna get though? I might get the Yaya jersey though. I don't know. Should I get the Yaya Dobby jersey or the Kalijah Clancy jersey? I don't know. Don't worry, I'll surprise y'all. So, with that being said, shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining a locker room edition. Just want to touch bases with you guys. Tap in with the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, and share the videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you on all new videos that's posted on this channel. With that being said, it's all season, folks. Everybody chill out, relax, gather your thoughts. It will pick up in July for training camp. But I'll still make some videos and we'll have some conversations. But I just want to tap in with you guys and check up on you, make sure you guys and your family is doing good. I'm over here doing good. My daughter will be here soon. So, fire the cannons, seize the day, raise the flag, hashtag life after Brady, hashtag phase 3. It's over. I'm into phase 4. Hashtag, what are we doing? Hashtag, why? Hashtag, don't get mad at me. You hear me? I don't talk about it. I don't play the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Hashtag, facts over feelings. Hashtag, probability versus possibility. Hashtag, what are we doing with Baker Mayfield and Kyle Trask? What are we doing? Hashtag, transitional year. I'll see y'all soon.